Hi, my name is Kati Kaizen, and this is my scaffold reading and writing lesson plan that's geared towards a class that is studying ecology. The lesson is for 7th grade science, and again it's a class that is studying an ecology unit. This lesson should last one day, and by the end of this lesson, students should be able to identify key terms and concepts, create a food chain from a given ecosystem, understand how energy is transferred through an ecosystem, and understand the interdependent relationships of an ecosystem. If you want to see the Common Core standards or the content standards that are being met by this lesson, please see my attached lesson plan to see those in further detail. Okay class, it's time to get started. Today we're going to continue with our ecology unit, and we're going to be learning about food chains. Now we're going to start the class with a short little warm-up video. I want you guys to get in your groups of 3 to 4 students, and we are going to pay attention to what kind of organisms that you see. Okay class, so that was our intro video, and that's to get us warmed up, get us excited, get us interested in what our topic for today is, which is food chains. So I'm going to pose a question to you guys. What kind of living and non-living things did you guys just see in that video clip? With your group members, I want you to list as many living and non-living things as you can. So designate somebody who's going to jot things down, and I want you guys to make a list. You guys have 2 to 5 minutes to go, and as a class we're going to come back together and discuss what we found. Okay class, great job. You guys made some awesome lists. You guys were very observant, and we had a really great discussion. Now it's time to really get into our content. What are we trying to learn today? So I want you guys to open your books to page 100, and you're going to read 5 pages, pages 100 to 105, and you're going to read about food chains. I've made up the following worksheet for you guys, and I want you guys to fill this out as you read through the text. So I have 3 columns here. The first column is for your vocabulary words. The second column is if you want to jot down a visual of any kind, draw a picture, something that helps you to remember what that word is about. And the third category is for you to actually write the definition of what you found in your books. So go ahead and read. You guys have about maybe 10 minutes to read. We'll come back and we're going to discuss what we have read in our reading material. Okay guys, your reading's done. We've discussed what we've learned, and here is the conclusion we've came to. We've learned that abiotic means that they're non-living. Biotic is living factors in an ecosystem. We've learned that a food chain is a sequence of events that shows the transfer of energy in a biological community, shows who eats who. We've seen that a producer is a plant that can make its own food. We've seen that consumers get their energy by eating other organisms. And we've learned that decomposers break down dead plants and animals. So what does this all mean? And this is what we're trying to get at today. What does all this mean? What are ecosystems and what are they composed of? So we're going to focus on the vocabulary word food chain today. That is our main interest. And I'm going to give you guys an example food chain. So if you look back to the clip that we just watched about Lion King, and we think about the terms that we've just learned, here is our example food chain. We have our energy source, that's the sun, and the energy gives, the sun gives its energy to the producers, the plants, that's the jungle plants from Lion King, that's our producers. They capture sunlight energy and they convert it in a way that other organisms can use. Now, the plants eaten by the beetle, our primary consumer. The primary consumer receives the energy from the plants. The beetle is then eaten by our secondary consumer, in this case is the meerkat Timon. He gets the energy, and then the meerkat Timon may or may not get eaten by the lion, who is our tertiary consumer. He's the top of our food chain. When the lion finally dies, he gets decomposed by a fungus or a mushroom of something. So here is the job that I have for you guys to do today. You're going to get back into your groups of 3 to 4 students, and you guys are going to actually create a food chain of your own. So you're going to pick an ecosystem, whatever you want to be, whether it be oceans or desert or the Arctic tundra, and I've given you guys poster boards, scissors, markers. You can use the magazines I provided, or you can go on the internet if you'd like and produce some images. And here's what your required to have is an energy source, a producer, primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer, and a decomposer. It must also show the transfer of energy using arrows. So, and you have to label your organisms. So you guys have 25 minutes to work, and at the end of class, you guys are going to present your posters to the rest of the class. Alright, your 25 minutes is up. You guys have put together some beautiful posters. You guys have presented them. I'm really impressed. You guys all showcased that you understand what food chains are. And in conclusion, let's go over again, just touch on it. Ecosystems are filled with many interdependent relationships between biotic and abiotic factors. Food chains show the transfer of energy in an ecosystem. If you guys are interested in learning more about some ecosystems, there's some really cool websites you can take a look at. I've listed them here in case you were just curious or wanted some further clarification. Alright class, awesome day. We'll see you next time.